Now, the coronavirus has affected a multitude of people in so many different ways, and I've been getting tons of questions coming through asking, Vic, should I be still sourcing from China? Should I still start my business with getting a supplier from China? Should I be sourcing from other countries? If so, what countries should I be sourcing from? And in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can actually go about sourcing some of these products, not from China, but from India, from Vietnam, USA, and which of these countries you should actually be going for to source your product. So one of the methods, I'm going to show you how you can buy products from Alibaba in India, Vietnam, and USA. And I'm also going to show you one other method that is really simple and straightforward that you probably know, but you're just not aware of. So this is already affecting my Amazon business, and I've already implemented some of these strategies to try and get some new supplies just in case my suppliers don't pull through in China in time. Now, once the coronavirus is over, I'm going to go back to my suppliers in China, but at least I have some experience with other countries, sourcing from them and getting them shipped over. So if anything like this happens again, I have a backup plan. And in all honesty, issues like the coronavirus can happen. So you always need to have some sort of backup plan in place. And when you have a plan in place, you need to be able to execute it really fast. Now let's jump straight into the first one on how you can source products from Alibaba so you can send it to Amazon FBA, or if you're watching this video for any of your other suppliers, this is going to show you exactly how you can use Alibaba to go ahead and find some of those. So I'm going to move ahead and go straight in to Alibaba.com. So when you're in Alibaba.com, let's say, for example, that you're looking to sell, or you are selling compostable plates. And what you will find is the search results for all countries. And most of them will be based in China, as you can see here on the right-hand side. You can see most of them are going to be from China. However, you want to source your products from a different country. Now, it's really easy and simple to go ahead and do this. Now, what you will find on the left-hand side, now Alibaba does change their platform sometimes as well, so please just keep a lookout, but this option will always be there. On the left-hand side, you will see some options, and you'll see some suggested locations, and you'll also see all countries and regions. Now, there's also a section here that says past export countries. You don't really want to use that. You can if you want, but I would strongly suggest that you actually use the supplier country. So this is current suppliers. Now, as you can see, there is a suggested location on the left. So you can select India, and as you can see on the right hand side, there are 430 listings for compostable plates in India. There's one in Japan, and we can't actually see what it is. Oh, there we go. It's 68 from the United States and 6 from Vietnam. However, you want to make sure that you check all of these as well. As you can see, China is the largest by far with 19,739. So it is going to be slim pickings for you. However, when things like this, like the coronavirus, actually happen, you do need to go ahead and start changing up your strategy a little bit, just so you can have a backup plan. Now, as you can see, the second largest is India by far in comparison to the other countries. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and select India on Alibaba.com and see what suppliers actually come up. Now, as you can see, there are compostable plates here, but you will see that on the right hand side, there will be minimal or next to no previous orders that they have registered online. So it might be, this is going to be a slightly different approach that you're going to have to take in comparison to probably what you may have been used to. Now, I do want to share some important parts with you about talking to suppliers and other countries when you're making your payment as well. So make sure you stay tuned to the end, because that's super, super important for you to know. Otherwise, you might go ahead and lose out on money, and you don't want to go ahead and do that and work with the wrong supplier and lose out on money. So I want to show you what that is. But first of all, let's have a look into some of these. And as you can see, look, the listings are pretty similar to what you may see in the Chinese listings. What you might want to look at first is the response ratings. So at least you know you're getting in touch with suppliers who are responding to queries pretty quickly, and this is within a 24-hour period. And that's who you want to really get in touch with. My advice always is to get in touch with every single one of them. You never know who's actually going to come through the woodwork for you and get you the product that you actually want. And it may be a week down the line that somebody actually replies. Hence why some of these are in the 81%, 67.5% range, response rate range. So you want to get in touch as you normally would with a supplier when you're getting in touch with them on Supplier. As you can see, there's quite a few here. Let's click into this one and see what the differences are. Now, there are no major differences in here. There's not too much to look at, in all honesty. However, you do probably want to just check some of the details that are in here. You can see exactly where it is based in India, and you can look at this on a map if you want to, just so you can see what the sea journey is. Now, that's a really important part to point out. Now, not all of these suppliers will be based on the border of India. They may be inland in India, so it may cost a little bit more to get it shipped over. But as long as your business is running, as long as you've run the numbers, the profit analysis, and it makes sense that you continue to serve your customers and continue to keep your rank on Amazon with your specific product, this makes sense. So make sure that you run your profit analysis. Make sure you're not running into any crazy heavy losses. But this could just be a really small order for you. So let's say, for example, that you're selling 1,000 units every single month. You may just order 1,000 units from these guys just to see, so you have at least a month. You may order 2,000, so you have at least 2 months. You may want 3,000, so you can cover 3 months. But you don't want to go ahead and order 10,000 units in one go, because you've never worked with this supplier before, and you want some of these tips that I'm about to tell you as well, so you make sure you don't get burnt by these suppliers. So you can see that it's very similar. They've got the product description over here, they've got the features, and they've also taken the effort to put some images up of what they might be selling as well. Now, if I were you, I'd just go straight ahead and contact the supplier, which is the most important thing to do is to go ahead and take action, contact the supplier, and hope that they get back in touch with you. Now, get in contact with as many suppliers as you possibly can. Now, once you've got in contact with a multitude of suppliers and they are coming back to you, the first thing that you want to do is to obviously get the price, but then you want to make sure that you're getting these samples. Because if you're not getting samples and you ship it straight over to Amazon without getting it checked yourself and looking at the product yourself, you will not be able to tell the differences, because you're not able to see any of the products and compare it to what you bought from China. Now, it may be slightly different, but that's okay. As long as the quality and the standard of the product is good, you can actually go ahead and order with these guys. Now, and there's an important tip that I want to share with you on how you actually go about making some of these payments, because it's not what you would normally do. And what I normally recommend is a credit card to make sure you're fully protected before you go ahead and pay. Now, that may not always be available when you're actually ordering from suppliers in other countries, and it's not always available when you're ordering from suppliers in China. So this is how you go about contacting suppliers in India. It is going to be very similar for other countries as well. So I do want to show you that what it would look like for contacting suppliers and what the listings are actually looking like for products in the United States. So as you can see, we've gone for compostable plates. Now, just as something to point out, it is going to entirely depend on the product that you're actually selling. Compostable plates are usually made from palm leaf material, which is grown in hot countries. China seems to get all of this supply for some reason, somehow. I don't know how, but they are getting it in some shape or form. But hot countries tend to have more compostable plates, and that's why India is the second largest supplier of these compostable plates, according to Alibaba. Now, if you're buying electronic products or another category of products, it may be that another completely different country, let's say you're buying bottle cork, for example, that suppliers for bottle cork, and I don't know if cork is the actual material, but it's the cork you pull out when you actually go ahead and open a wine bottle. Those corks are actually mass manufactured in Portugal. So if that's the material that you're using for your specific product, let's say you're using cork for a book cover that you're making, that could be something that is possible, and you would have to source that from Portugal. Now, what I want you to understand is some of the suppliers may not even be on Alibaba, and that's why I've got the second method that I want to go ahead and show you on how to contact suppliers not necessarily on Alibaba, but a different method that is right under your nose. But first, let's go ahead and look at what the USA has to offer. As you can see, they are a lot less responsive. As you can see, it's 23.1% as a response rate in comparison to the 80s and 90s you had in India. They are a lot less responsive, but it is worth getting in touch with these suppliers just to see what you can get, what price you can get. And if you are selling in the USA, bear in mind your freight costs might be a lot cheaper. And you might even go ahead and find a supplier that you want to work with full time. So it is always worth doing stuff like this. So if you are going to go to any other country like Vietnam or Portugal, you just click on the tech checkbox on the left and go ahead and get in contact with suppliers. Now, as you can see, not all suppliers are going to have trade assurance, and they're not all going to have verified supplier status, and they may have none of these. Now, that's not a big problem, because what you're actually going to do with this is you're going to take this off of Alibaba and actually have a conversation on WhatsApp, by email, or on any other communication platform, just so you can get the deal going. You will have to have a similar contract to what you would have had on Alibaba, but if you want contracts like that, you can actually make them up yourself, or you can get them from the supplier, and you can even Google some contracts that you can actually use. Now, what you can do is you can go ahead and contact suppliers in China, and you can get them to create a contract, and you could go and replicate that contract if you wish. There will be some stuff that you'd need to take out as well, but that contract is just a contract to keep you safe, just to say what you're actually buying. All it will include is the specifics of the material, what you're buying, the size, the weight, what it's being packaged in, how it's going to be labeled, all of those bits and pieces, which you will actually know by the time you're finished with making a specific order. So you will be putting that in a contract. So that's really simple to do. You can even Google it and get your own contract from there. Now, the second method I wanted to show you before I go ahead and show you how you should actually go ahead and deal with payments with suppliers that you've never worked with is to actually go ahead, and this is so under your nose. It's literally to go ahead to google.com or google.co.uk, whatever country you're in. Go ahead to Google, and you want to type in compostable plates supplier, and then pick a country, and Alibaba will give you your country. If you have a look and we go back over here, you can see that 430 shows you that India is the second largest supplier of these compostable plates. So you may want to check the search term to make sure this is correct. If you know that compostable plates are made out of palm leaf or banana leaf or whatever it is, or bamboo, you can just type in bamboo plates supplier in India or from India. Now, all we would need to do is just open up some of these. I'm just going to go into a couple of these, and what you will find is stuff like this. Platforms that are extremely similar to Alibaba.com, but it's the platform that works within that country. So IndiaMart looks like the equivalent to Alibaba.com, but they look like they are separate companies. They could be the same, but I reckon they're probably very separate companies. And what you can do is, we've already done the search here, biodegradable paper plates, and look, you can actually get in contact with these suppliers, and they also have their own versions of having their trust seals. They've got company videos, they've got this leading supplier badge as well, and you can also see where they are based. They're based exactly in New Delhi, and it tells you the address, which is a lot more comforting. So this is the method and thing that you need to use. You need to get in contact with these suppliers just as you would with the suppliers in China. Now, if you don't have the template, make sure you go ahead and check out my previous videos that gives you an email template that you can use to send over to any one of these suppliers, and I'll talk you through exactly how to use it. I'll put a link in the description with some other useful links too, so you can go ahead and watch that video. How super exciting is this? Look, it looks just like Alibaba. They probably copied them, or vice versa, whatever, but you can see that all of the information you need and all of the suppliers that you need are here. Now, if you wanted to go and find a cork supplier, and you know they're based in Portugal, all you would need to do is click back and make sure you go to google.com, and let's see if, I don't know if cork is actually the material. If anybody knows that, please put it in the comment section below. So cork supplier in, and if you just put in cork supplier, you can start to see where these countries, what are most searched. So you can see what countries they are actually coming from. But let's type in Portugal for now. Oh, it is cork. I think it is cork. But you can literally go into any of these and check and get in contact with suppliers. Now, some of these may be individual suppliers as well. Let's have a look at this. This looks like could possibly be an individual supplier. I'm not 100% sure. But all you would need to do is look at the cork products, or you can just literally get in contact with them, which is what I would specifically do, because if you know exactly what you want, you go straight ahead and get in contact with these suppliers. Now, how do you go about making payment to people in other countries that you have never used before, suppliers you've never used before, and it's the first time you're actually working with them? Where it's very similar to if you're not using a credit card in China, you need to be using a secure payment site like PayPal. Now, if you are going to be using PayPal, make sure whatever contract you have with them, you put it into PayPal as well. You upload it as a document, as a contract within PayPal, and then you make your payment. Now, don't pay 100% all in one go. Do the same as you would do with China. Pay 30% and then pay 70% once they've sent it off and shipped it, and once it's also been inspected. Now, inspection is also another thing. You can literally just Google inspection companies in that specific country, get in touch with them, and get in touch with a multitude of them and find out which one is best for you. Hopefully this video was really useful to you. It was really insightful on how you go about contacting suppliers in India through Alibaba and through other methods such as Google, finding other platforms like the Google one that's based in India, and how you can go about getting your products from a multitude of different countries as the coronavirus continues to go on. Make sure you don't let this stop you, because there's not much you can actually do. So keep moving forward with your business, with your Amazon FBA business. Continue to sell on Amazon and continue to find and source suppliers, and you are going to grow and learn new skills. I hope this video was useful to you. Please check out the links in the description. I've made them specifically for you. And if you want my one-to-one support and you don't want to pay the price increase of the program that I have, FBA Stars, make sure you head over and get it now. I am going to be removing the 3-month one-to-one support, and there will be an extra price on that. And I'm also putting the price of the program up. So if you're watching this video in time, great. If you're not, please go check out the offers on FBAstars.com. I'll see you in the next video.